Me too. I have the questions up. Do you want me to read them?
Sure.
Okay. First one. Have all the admins thought of collaborating on just one fic?
No,
Or
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
so.
think that's a bad idea.
How would that work?
we haven't
I
thought
don't
about that.
know very well because we all have different like writing styles.
Just the idea of like writing a story with like more than one person being the writer for a story is like weird to me. I don't get how that would work.
Me either. Plus, like
Collaborations
processes.
are okay. Sorry, you were
Oh no,
talking.
you go ahead.
Okay, well, like collaborations are like fun and all, but like with 8 people, I just kind of feel like it might be a big miss.
Yeah,
In
I don't think
general,
that's a good idea.
yeah, just like I don't know, but for one, like for if I committed to a story, I could not picture myself like hitting up one of you guys and being like, I don't know, having you guys being like co-writing it with me.
Unless we're doing like another crack request or something.
Yeah.
But if it's a serious thing, I don't think that would work out very well.
And collaborations in general, I just find them too stressful. Like if one
Mhm.
person's updating a lot and then you can't, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Just like group projects in school are the worst. They're the
Oh my
worst.
god.
Even with your
Yes.
friends, it's awful. Like even when you have a group project with your friends, it can be so hard to like have it come together how you wanted it to.
Yes, I have to do a group project with 6 people at the moment. Oh my god. And I think it might be messy. So far it's been okay, but
Yeah. School's winding down for me, so I only have 2 more weeks left, I think, and most of it's finals, which I don't have to take. So I'm gonna be doing nothing.
that's great. I have 1 month more of university and then I'm on break. Yay!
Okay, ready for the next question?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you find inspiration for writing?
Mm,
I kind of find it from anything really. Like I'd see, well, I've been doing like AUs
Mhm.
depending on what I learned from my anatomy class. So that's one inspiration.
Mhm.
Um, songs, something that happened to me, something I've seen in a TV show or something. It's pretty like, yeah, anything
Yeah.
around pretty much really.
Yeah, that's me too. I don't have really like set idea. I don't go looking for inspiration usually.
Yeah.
yeah, it totally finds you, especially since like I've always been like a spacey person. Like I daydream a lot in class and stuff.
Mhm.
And I just like find myself thinking up the weirdest scenarios, and that's how like I came up with some of like my best fics.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Same.
Especially with BTS, but they always end terribly when I daydream about BTS. It's always awful, like always. So
Mm.
I told you there was this one time I had a daydream where all of us were in a room with them, and it was just chaos, just chaos. I was trying to jump out of a window. Some people were trying to seduce BTS. It was too much. It was mm, no. I'll pass on that.
Ooh, the third question's interesting. To all the admins, what would you say is your most interesting writing quirk? I think it'd be more better if you like answered it for each other because I can't like answer myself.
Oh yeah. Oh. Um, this is kind of hard to say because you all do have very different like styles, but it's hard to say an exact thing that you do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think personally, I'm good in describing emotions.
Mhm.
Not very. Dialogue is not really my forte, so
Mhm.
probably that's it for me.
Mhm.
So
Dialogue can be really hard to write.
yeah, what do you guys like? Maybe one way to approach this question would be like, what do you guys find yourself doing the most in your fictions? Like, do you focus more on relationship development or something like that, or the way you
Mhm.
narrate?
Mhm.
Uh,
I just like writing things that I think are super dramatic. Like I don't. I usually have like one idea and then base a whole chapter around it, like the whole in Mythomania, Jimin getting dragged across the floor, because I thought that'd be fun to write. And then I was like, how does he get dragged across the floor? And then that was the rest of the chapter. But yeah, so I guess Is that an answer to that question? I don't know.
Yeah, you like build around certain thoughts that you have.
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
me, I don't know, it's so weird because like I haven't been writing. Well, I have been writing for a long time, but like I'm very recent to Tumblr. I
Mhm.
haven't been on here long, but like I don't know like if I have a distinct thing. I think like for Pandemonium, like I think a lot of people told me that like my OC's character was something
Mhm.
that they've like never seen before. But I
Oh
don't know if
yeah, I
that like
definitely see that.
reflects in like all my other stories per se. And
I
like
would definitely
Pandemonium's like
say.
I feel like for Luna it would be word count.
Yes. And also, you're
I
really good at
hate
evoking emotion, is what I would say now that I think about it. Because back when Pandemonium started and I first became like a fan of yours, I was like, oh my God, all in my feels. Like, I wanted to throw my phone across the room. And you have to be a really good writer to be able to, make people feel something like that.
thanks.
I don't know. I tend to just like stray away from things I find harder.
Same. I think you're really good at like I don't know. I really like your blog because you have like such cool themes.
I would have to agree with that. Every one of you is like super good at different things that make your stories really different and interesting, I think. Okay. Is writing more of a pastime or a hobby or a job for you guys?
Hobby.
Ooh,
I
it
wish
could
it
be
was a
both.
job. I'd love
Yeah, I
to
wish
just
it was
be
a
able to write all
job.
day.
I
But
mean, like I don't know. You guys answer. What do you guys think?
I wish it was a job, but it's just what I do all day. So I guess that's a
Yeah.
hobby.
I don't know. Sometimes
Mhm.
like I feel like when I write something first, like when I get like the first 1K down, it could like
Mhm.
feel really nice, but then like I like struggle to finish, or I find myself like forcing myself to finish something, or like when other people are like, I feel like pen pal became a job, to be honest, from how much like people were demanding it. I feel like it could start as a hobby then turn into a job.
I was just gonna say, isn't it only a job if you earn from it?
I guess so. Which I mean, I guess that technically makes my writing a job, but it's not like ooh, I'm making bank. No, not nearly. It's
Yeah,
like this is pocket money. I could probably go to
it's
McDonald's a
like
few times, and then that's
it's like enjoyment versus like being obliged to do it, you know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think like it's not bad to feel obliged to finish something because I like always I'm really bad at finishing stuff. That's why I have like 13 series out.
Yeah. Me who just ignores series and then just eventually decides to like this is discontinued because we're just gonna forget that happened.
Yeah, dude, me with Pandemonium right now.
Yeah, that's what happened with oh Lord. I don't even remember the name of it anymore. I'm a bad writer. I feel bad for that because people are like, when is this gonna update? And I'm like, I don't think it ever will actually.
Yeah,
But
sometimes there's like writer blocks that you cannot get over.
which sucks when
Yeah.
especially if you really loved an idea. But yeah.
I haven't updated some of my stories in 3 years. Ugh, I feel bad when I look at them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like the only reason I like try to update a lot is because like I think about what the readers would think. Like I feel bad because we all
Yeah.
have those own like I have so many stories that I love that never got finished, and I would hate to do that to someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then mhm.
That's why I try to
Oh,
focus on one series at a time now.
Yeah, I'm learning that lesson the hard way.
I was
'Cause,
there
yeah,
once. This was for me.
you
I had
guys
a
glitch,
Sasuke story, and
glitched
I
out.
just could not finish it.
Mhm. What happened?
Well, she was like in a basement, and then
Mhm.
after that, I just couldn't finish it. Just turned so shit. I just ended up deleting the entire thing. And anything else I haven't finished? Oh, my very first story. Oh, just thinking about it makes me want to cringe and bleach my eyes out. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so bad. It's like a Mary Sue
Mhm.
OC, and it's like, oh, it's a crossover between two animes. It's just so bad. Yeah. Let someone else answer this.
Mm,
Um, ooh, Lord, the hardest scene for me to write. Gee. I have to
think
think about this.
for me, I just avoid any action scenes. I hate them.
Oh yeah, action scenes are hard to write. When I was writing
Yeah.
the recrudescence, like the fight, I was like, "Is this how fights work?"
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like
know.
that's like a hectic scene. Like with that fic in particular, I do not know how you do it, especially with all seven. Like Pandemonium, that conference scene, that was
Mhm.
difficult too. So to have a whole fic like
It's
that.
so hard having, yeah, it's so hard having writing for OT7 because there's so many just people to write for. Like what's Jin doing in the scene? I don't know. I don't know where he is. I don't know. It's hard to juggle that many people. So I guess any scene with all 7 members is really difficult to write
Yeah.
for me
I
personally.
Yeah.
I think.
I think like I'm just bad with ending stuff. Like I
Mhm.
always get like really inspired and I'm like always hyped in the beginning, and then I think that like even some readers could tell like by the end I'm really just like barely scraping by. Like Pen Pal was super hard for me to end, so was Paparazzi, and like my
Mhm.
Tay story,
The endings were good though.
the
Mhm.
devil, like I did not know. I had a completely different ending in mind, and then I literally like looked at the word count and I was so tired and I was just like, I cannot do this. Like I just have to, and I was like,
Mhm.
shit, let him ask for a refill. And that's how that ended.
Yes, and then I'm terrible at writing endings. I don't think I've ever written a good ending, like ever.
Same. Same. They're just endings are so hard. Like you develop into it and then it can lead to so many possibilities, like you don't even know which one to choose from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is why
And
you
you want
use
to
this.
make sure you wrap
Plus,
up everything.
yes, and it's so difficult because like I know what some people want to end, but like as the creator of the story, it's like I know in my heart that like that does not end like that.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
so many people wanted like Pen Pal, like you ever get like those stories where those readers will ask you like, oh, they're gonna end up, and you're just like in your head you're like, why the fuck would you want them to end up together? Like it doesn't work like that.
That is me with Mythomania Namjoon. I'm like, do not. I don't understand. So many people are like, oh my gosh, Namjoon and the girl are gonna run away and live happily ever after. I'm like, why would he do that? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense at all.
I
Sorry to
know.
break everyone's hearts. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, it makes sense whatsoever. But yeah, especially if there's a ship that's really popular that doesn't make any sense when you're writing it, but people seem to really want that for some reason. I hate that.
Same. Like for me, I've got an ending for Earth of Desires. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna like it. But it feels right for me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just write whatever's best for you. Also, the ending of Hit or Miss, which will come, everyone's gonna hate it. I hated it to be honest, but that's how it's gotta end.
I think Pandemonium ending is gonna piss some people off.
I really have no idea where you're going with that, which is
Me
really exciting.
either.
So,
Like I'm making this shit up as I go. Like that's just like I know. Please don't tell anyone, even though this is a podcast. But like I really don't know what I'm doing.
I never know what
Isn't that like with all stories? Like you publish one chapter and you just try to think to like continue it, don't know what's happening and anything.
Yeah, I never like. Do you guys plan that out? Like, do you guys plan out your stories, or are you just the type to just sit down and like let whatever happen happen?
I
I
had a
kind of have
plan,
like
but then like
3 big ideas.
yeah, I had a
Yeah.
plan for a lot of mine, but then I just looked at the plan and it was awful.
I'm trying to plan more because I feel like I'm getting like a bit too hectic, but I don't know how people like plan stuff out naturally.
Stick
I
to it.
can I plan some stories which I have a clear plot in mind. Like for Earth of Desires, I had a pretty solid thing, like what I wanted to happen in each chapter. So I kind of wrote like a few sentences summarizing what was going to happen in each chapter. But for like
Mhm.
Notice Me Nona and The Little Mermaid, I just had no idea what to do. So it was just made up.
Mhm.
And for Earth of Desires, it was going to be 15 chapters plus the prologue and the epilogue. And I just improvised because a lot of the things didn't make sense in the planning anyway. So it's even with planning, I feel like you don't fully stick to it.
Mhm. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever planned anything. Just like not even when writing creative, like creatively. Hello, English, I can speak this language. But like with school essays and everything, when
Oh
they're
my
like,
God,
take this time
yes.
to plan your essay, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna write it and hope for the best.
Dude, English teachers are like the worst.
Yes. I'm just like,
Like
I
the
don't want
death
to
to
plan
writing.
this essay about seashells. It's not no.
Yeah, good writing will shine through. I don't think like it's
Mm-hmm.
necessary to have like a to-do list with it.
Mm-hmm. Plus that takes too much time when you're timed. Like that, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, we're not getting
Yeah,
paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
with one of my
But
assessments,
okay.
my teacher, they were like, it's a there's a template for you, for all of you to like plan it and stuff. And I was like, I literally cannot plan. Everything just comes to me as I write it. It's just so useless to
Exactly.
plan.
The best authors like ever, they have never like planned stuff out. Like they have just sat down and just like wrote that story like on the spot. And I just hate how they just ruin the process, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm like, I have beef with my English teacher right now. And it's like showing that I have like
Mm-hmm.
beef. I just hate being told what to write and how to write.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Definitely,
Because
I
Okay.
hate
it's
that.
like, it's something creative. Like everyone has their own way of doing it, whether like they write drabbles or whether they write like something like really long series. It's just
Mm-hmm.
different for everyone. So I feel like there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just do it and people like it or they don't like it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. There's been some like stories where the whole story was 20,000 words and it was like amazing, and some stories where it's 200,000 words. And first off, I would have died like a fourth of the way through that. But those are also super good. It just depends on what you like to do when you're writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I like fan fiction. Like I wanted to go into writing even at a tertiary level, but then it's just all the criterias and everything, they're just so confining and they just limit my creativity. So I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not gonna bother with it. Just write how I want to. So
That's
it's
why I
yeah.
think I'd probably never go to school for writing because that sounds awful.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it
You
is
don't
awful.
you don't need an English degree for like anything. Like you don't need it to become a best-selling author. Like you could really just write a
Mm-hmm.
book today and it could pop off.
Mm-hmm. And you technically
Yeah.
don't even need a publisher. Just hop on Amazon. But
Okay, are
are
we
we
ready?
ready for the next
Yep.
question?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Any advice you would like to give to aspiring writers?
Oh my God, so much. I get this question a lot. Do you
For it.
guys get this a lot in your inbox?
Yes, kind of. And I feel like I'm a terrible person to ask this question to because I don't
I
know
have
anything.
I have a weird list because like I've been into fan fiction for so long, like I'm sure many of you guys have, and like there's a lot of trash like cliches and stuff that I see in fan fiction writing.
Yes,
Oh my
especially the
God.
fall in love instantly for no reason, absolutely at all. That's
Or
just
when
the worst.
the object of affection is only the appearance. Like who is that low other than like slutty people and stuff? But
That's true. I mean, like, unless the whole goal is to like get it in with this person, then that makes sense. But if it's a love story, then that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I also hate how like the male lead in these fan fictions always allowed to be like really trash, and then like he just cries
Mm-hmm.
and says sorry, and then the OC's like, oh my God, I like changed this
Like, I
bad
love
boy.
you. It's great. I
Yes.
hate the traditional bad boy. Like, those are the worst. There are some
Dude,
people who can do them really well, but not many.
what is the current like bad boy even? Like I can't relate to any of these fics because there's like no bad boy. Like we got skater dudes, we got like e people, we got like e girls and e guys. Like there's no bad boy. Like no one's wearing a leather jacket, and like no one's doing that these days.
My nerd self is the one wearing the
it's like
leather jacket.
it's like those Jungkook TikToks.
Oh my
Where they're
gosh.
like, oh my God, like the name comes in and then he calls her hey bitch, and then
Yes,
she
I
asks
know
him, like,
exactly which one
I
you're
saw
talking
that.
about.
they're
Yeah.
so
That was
funny.
so funny. They
Um.
called us out so hard.
Okay. So, for inspiring writers, I think it's important to write your story for you and not for anyone
Mm-hmm.
else. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's important to just I don't know. I'd say like I have this weird thing where I don't hate people who write short stories, but like I also feel like at a certain point like you should push yourself. Like Stephen King, he writes like every day. Like I think how many words? Like I think it's like at least 1K or something every day. He like writes every single day, and I think that like really helps like refine your skill. Also, really weird like thing, but please don't describe the OC's like daily ritual. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like I got up from bed and I looked at my like crystal blue eyes in the mirror, and then I like picked this top that was like, you know what, like this really weird, overly descriptive, like, oh, I did all this. I hate that.
Yeah, I can understand. Unless you're like in the very beginning where you know nothing about this character, but especially when people keep doing that over and over again, it becomes kind of pointless and repetitive.
Also, flashbacks, like I feel like use them rarely and use them efficiently. Like I shouldn't have to like a whole chapter shouldn't be a crazy flashback that doesn't even matter.
Like for Mythomania, there's going to be just one flashback, hopefully. Maybe it should just be one. Watch it be not one. But it should just be one that's just telling like all of the past. Because right now everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is their past? And I'm like, you'll find out. Wait. Wait. But yeah, so don't. Also, I would say structuring. I hate when people write a fan fiction and it's all like in the center. I can't read it. I just can't read it at all.
Oh my god.
It's
I
like
didn't
space
say that.
in the center.
I think when they have like a whole paragraph with no spaces, like the entire chapter is just text all together, like the dialogues aren't separated, there's no paragraph. Like what do you want us to do, get blind with all this text? It's like if I lose myself, I have no idea.
People just like a little shout out, after a period it's 2 spaces and then you can continue another sentence. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Apparently a lot of people don't know that on Tumblr.
Also, people don't use quotation marks. I'm like, you're speaking. I'm like, what is with this weird comma thing? I don't there's quotation marks. This is a text now. And when people don't when they like don't capitalize stuff on purpose, that irritates me so much. I can't read things that are like wrong on purpose.
Yeah, yes, like they do it for like aesthetic. They're like, oh, this is how I type. Like Barbara, no, it's proper literature. At least put some effort in capitalization and full stop.
Yeah, you're not quirky, you're illiterate. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I love that you said full stop. That's cute. Like that's adorable.
Is it? Okay. Is that not? Oh yeah, you say period in America.
Period over here. Yeah, that apparently weirds people out. But yeah, period is the thing of the sentence. A time period. There's also a class period. Yeah, it's weird.
It's the monthly period. Satan's Lucifer, Bloodfall.
Yeah,
every month.
Love. Also a period.
This is cute. Culture differences.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of yandere to write for each of you? Ooh.
I don't have one.
Probably. You don't.
Do you guys?
I like the one that you don't hate. If it's a yandere where you're like, I don't hate this person, but they're really intriguing, that's not really a trope, I guess. But I just don't like the super violent ones that are just like violent the whole time because that's boring.
Yeah,
at least I think.
I definitely have ones that I don't like, but I don't have a favorite one to write. I also have I think I have different types within. I don't think there's a one that's the same in any of my fics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to let my characters develop themselves during the writing of the story, not anything particular. But yeah, as you said, the ones that just are violent, because yanderes, they have the main thing is they're obsessed. So love is a big driving factor about their sick idea of love. So I think there should be that side shown as well as their, the sick side. So not just the sick side. And that's just
yeah.
True. I like to think of it like a yandere is a person first and a yandere second, because that'll make it more believable, I think, because when people are just on Wattpad, of course, where it's a cesspool of yandere fics. It's just the person just kills everybody and kidnaps everybody, because I think people are so stuck in the traditional, this is a yandere fic.
Yes. I hate when there's no
why
logic.
would you do this for no...
I've been writing Yandere stories since I was like, wait, what was the first story I wrote? It was back in 2014. So, and I've read a lot of stories, and some of them, like, the plot just starts straight in a Yandere scene without any development. Like, you can still do that and write it really effectively in terms of dragons and stuff, but when it starts with, like, dialogue, like, oh, you're running away, and then trees are going past your hair, that's just, I don't like that. It's just so it's just so brief, no development, and the way these are mostly people who I guess they're very young and don't have proper grammar and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
No shade, but personally I don't enjoy those stories.
Me either. The first Yandere story I ever wrote, I think I was 14. There was a lot of, I mean, I wouldn't say it was just like, oh, he's kidnapped her now, but there was so much stuff that didn't make sense. Just looking back, I was just like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, none. But
oh my god, that's a good question. Like, what was your guys' first, like, story
that I wrote?
Yeah, for the genre.
It's terrible. Are you ready? So I was in my, like, traditional weeaboo phase that happens in every, like, pre-teenager's life. So do you know what the Vocaloids are?
No.
Yeah.
It's like a voice. They're not even like anime characters. It's a computer program where you can like make music and have like robots sing your songs. And I was like, yes, let me write this because I had read a couple of other things. Yeah, he was famous, and he was also cheating on her, and they were dating for some reason, which everyone was like, why are they dating after the first date at McDonald's? I was like, I don't know.
It was McDonald's too? What?
Yes, they went to McDonald's. What? They were like, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. I was like, yes, this is how real relationships work.
That's cute.
It was bad.
Mine was Pandemonium.
Really? See,
that was like my first. Well, to be honest, I never planned on publishing it. Like, I had a Tumblr, but I didn't like plan on doing anything with it. And I write a lot. Like, I have a lot of like just weird drafts in my like laptop, and I just decided one day, I was like, oh, what if I just fucked around and post this? Because I was like seeing the trash that was like on Tumblr, and I was like, this isn't the best, but it's definitely better than something else, like some of the other stuff. And I posted it.
Thank God when I found you. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun.
You found me really early too. Like, I wasn't even Chinkbihh. I think I was going under like another weird. I was like under like K-pop safe place or something. I think I wanted to like do reactions and stuff, but I just ended up getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
My first story was about. Have you guys seen Vampire Night?
Yes. Oh my God, Vampire Night. I have a story with that too, but you go first.
It was about Kaname, and like this is the one I was talking about before. Oh my God, just thinking about it makes me want to kick. So the OC, she's like from the Naruto world, and then she gets transferred to the Vampire Night world, and she's got like ninja skills. She scares everyone off it, and it's just, oh my God, it's cringy.
But I remember I was in 8th grade, and where I'm from, in 8th grade, at the end of the year, we get to go on this like big, expensive, elaborate trip, like down to South Georgia, or you can go and do like a bunch of little trips around the school. So I was in the little trip thing, so we had times where it was like we were doing nothing while waiting for buses or whatever, and I was watching Vampire Night then, and my parents had already seen it. They're like, something's gonna happen and you're gonna hate it. And then I found out about them being siblings, and I threw my phone across the like classroom and screamed. So
yeah, I hated that plot twist as well, and then I put that in my story, like she's Yuki's twin, and I just so cringy, like, oh my God. It's next question. Is there a possibility that you guys will start a series on Yandere Society? Love all of your writing, by Flowery Chim. Okay, well, it's kind of like the first one. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think, at least no time soon. I don't think so.
Sorry, I'm like coughing a lot. I think I have a collapsed lung or something.
That's fine. Oh, I've had a collapsed lung. They suck.
Okay. As for like Can I like say something just personally, like as the one who like got you all together and started this like crackhead Team 10 of Tumblr type deal?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you guys have been here personally, but I'm kind of at a point with my own blog where I'm just like so sick and tired of like my own stories. And I really just wanted like to be able to write but not have it be like a part of one of my stories. Like I didn't want to do an update, I just wanted to write. And I thought it'd be really cool to do short stories, and I like having interaction and people like send me like prompts and stuff. So I just wanted to do that with like a bunch of other writers. So to do a series would kind of be like going against what the idea of this blog was about in the first place.
Yeah. I think for me, the reason that I was so like excited to join is because I loved, first off, talking to you, Luna, in the beginning, and then I followed most of you guys anyway, and I was just like, oh, it'd be so cool to just like talk to you as people, too, because I think is really fun to just like go in our group chat, even and not not talking about writing anyway, and just about whatever's going on in our lives, and just to be friends. I think is really super fun. Look at me being all soft.
Yeah, I definitely think that like it's like cool because I think that we are like the main, like I know there's other people right for the genre, but like we all are like, I don't know, we have a nice following on this, so it's definitely like the cream of the crop, I'd say. Although there is some people who I wanted to join who didn't, but that's tea for another day.
Yeah, another story. But okay, the next person is, I don't have a question. I just want to say I love y'all. How sweet.
Thank you. I love you too.
What was that? How sweet. Okay. Why do you, in all caps, like writing about Yandere, and what about Yandere themes and personalities intrigue you? Obviously, if it's to the point of murder and manipulation, it's unhealthy, but why do you like it?
I'd say it's
Why
like
is it
and like how white people watch horror movies. Sorry. Yeah, they're just interesting.
Exactly. It's a certain type of genre.
Because this is gonna be weird, but it's like such a not normie thing to write about, because I think it's really interesting when characters have really like a lot of layers and motivations, and it pushes you as a writer too, because a yandere is obviously someone who's not in their right mind, and to someone who's not in their right mind, you have to explore a lot more levels than you would in a normal story.
Yeah,
so I
that
think
makes
that's why I
sense.
like it.
In normal fics, like the BTS character is always just like there to look hot, and like we don't really get a lot of like in depth like. But with our works, I think we get to see like a lot more, and I think it's, I don't know why, but I always liked writing darker themes.
Yeah.
I don't know
Me
why.
too, even as a child, which is kind of depressing. The first story I ever wrote was about a baby duck whose leg got shot off.
I don't know why, but I think it's just so much more, I don't know, it's so much more cooler, not cooler, but it's, I don't know. I rather write like a really sad and depressing and messed up scene than like a really, really happy one. I don't know why I rather write the more fucked up one, but I'm better at that. And I like it more.
But I don't understand why they said it's unhealthy to the point of modern manipulation, because that's what most Yandere stories contain. Do they mean like if
Yandere
that's
in
the
general
only
is just
purpose
unhealthy, period.
I think it is a spectrum.
Do they mean like it's unhealthy if that's the only reason you write it for?
I'm assuming no, because they seem to like us enough to send us an ask, so I don't know. I think like they're just...
Wait, actually, never mind. What I'm saying is not making sense. Yeah, sorry. It's like late in the afternoon.
It's late.
It's like 3 a.m. where Apollo is.
Yeah. I just like writing it because it's fun. It's fun to like write messed up things, and also I think it kind of helps you deal with some trauma that you might have experienced on your own, or like went out things in a certain way. Like usually that's what writing is used for.
Exactly. I find it so funny that people would like hit up my inbox saying like, oh, do you know that you're like romanticizing abuse or something? And I'm literally just writing stuff that I see around me happen in like a really unhealthy relationships.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess
Next
that's
question.
the next one. When it comes to writing, a lot of writers have different means of getting inspiration. Okay, yeah, we kind of did the um, what do you individually do to write about this specific material? So I guess like what do we do to get in the yandere mood?
Love your work, by the way. Okay, unpopular opinion and really irrelevant side note, but like it makes me so mad when people assume that we're all one person.
Mhm.
Like sometimes, like I don't know. I think did you guys see that like someone sent a request for part 2 to my Tay story to like a whole other writer
Mhm. Yeah, I saw
and
that.
like thought that we were like one person too.
With
Mhm.
8 vlogs.
Yeah, and like in front, like and before our stories, don't you guys add like your own name? Like, oh yeah, by the way, this is by Chimchim, or this is by like.
Mine is on the bottom with my little emoji. And we
Yeah,
have like an admin's link in the bio.
yeah, and we all have like different emojis. Do they think that we just putting that there if we're one writer that we just like these certain like types of emojis?
That is, I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't
that's
know
like a
how
weird
pressed
side
we're
note,
getting about this.
but like
we're a team.
we are a team. But like also, dude, I wrote it. Don't go to other people like, yeah, that really touched me. Like, sis, no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
plus it was a reblog easily, but yeah. To get in the mood for Yandere, I don't know. I just do.
I watch
Sometimes
a
I
lot
do
of
listen
horror.
to kind of. Yeah, you do. I cannot
Yeah.
stand horror movies. I am a chicken, the biggest of chickens. I can't. I watched Get Out, and no,
That wasn't even
no,
horror. That was like thriller. That was
exactly. Oh,
wow.
there's this one. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but it was called like The Perfect Guy, and it was like this girl had this boyfriend, and she was older. I think she was like in her 30s maybe, and they broke up, and then she met this new guy online, and he seemed really nice, but he was a straight up yandere. And at this one point they broke up, and he was under her bed while she was having sex with another guy, and it would just freak me out so bad. I broke my couch. Like I was like jumping up so much the frame broke.
You know on Netflix,
So.
You, the
Mhm.
series You, yeah. I watched that. And
Mhm.
that was
I can't watch horror, which is kind of surprising considering,
Yo. Now that I
I
mentioned
can't watch horror either.
that's funny coming from me. Yo, low key, all tea, all shade. Pen Pal low key was like inspired by a movie I saw, and like if you guys saw that movie, you would like definitely see that I took inspiration from it. I think I meant to like credit the movie, but I just never did. It was like a movie where the girl had like I think it's arachnophobia. Sorry if I'm like messing it up. It's coming off the top of my head. Where she was like really afraid of leaving the house.
Mhm.
And she found out that like her dad was a killer, and she was like she couldn't leave the house because she like just physically wasn't able to, so she was just like trapped with him. And I
Mhm.
just really love that concept, and that's how like Pen Pal came out.
Yeah, that was a really intriguing like storyline to have where both characters are like really messed up.
Yeah, I think that we all could relate to like the Pen Pal OC too, because I definitely I think homebodies in particular can really relate because there is almost like a fear sometimes of being in the outside world.
Especially after like my car accident last year, I was like, can I never leave the house ever again? Because everything was so like scary and frightening that I still
Yeah.
don't like going outside and driving. Is not my favorite thing to do.
Dude, I got into one too, and like being in like the city and driving, like it freaks me
Mhm.
out sometimes.
Because the area where I live is becoming like super populated with a bunch of new neighborhoods and stuff. Because it's a really good like academic area to be. But oh my gosh, there's accidents so much, especially in Atlanta. There's the death toll on the highways is so high. That got really
Yeah.
dark.
Well, Chicago, you got like a lot of stuff going on, but like it's
Mm-hmm.
more like gang violence and stuff. But if you like stay out of the South, I think you're decent. But
Except for Atlanta, because you will get run over. People will run you over. No joke.
I think like out of all the cities I've been to, I think people from Chicago are a bit nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we are a bit nice. We are in the Midwest, so like we still have that like I don't know Midwestern like niceness. I'd say we're basically like Southern Canadians.
But okay. How did the idea of the blog come up? Were all of you admins mutuals already? I think you should answer this one, Luna.
Oh, yeah, well, I think I said this earlier. I just really wanted to work with other people and just do like short stories and just be able to take a break from writing my series on my blog. And I think Chim was the first, and then we like talked, and we already talked before because we both were fans of each other. And then you mentioned who did you mention? Was it you put me on to
Shay?
someone? Yeah, you put me on to Shay, but I already read her works already, but I didn't realize that I read her works until you mentioned the door thing, her like Jimin story, and I was like, oh yeah, I read her, and then I was like, yeah, right away, let's add her. And then Noms, and like we just like we went crazy. We must have sent like 30 requests to people.
That's true. There were so many people who
We
wanted
hit
to
up
join.
so many people.
And then afterwards was when people were like, "Oh, can we join?" And I was like, "There's already so many."
Yeah, Apollo was like the last. We almost didn't add Apollo because we were like, damn, we have 7 already.
We're like, but it's fine because we were originally gonna do the whole sins thing. But I'm kind of glad we didn't.
Oh yeah, we had an idea for like doing like every member would do a story for like every BTS member because we had 7. We're like, this could work perfectly.
But no, because we had to add dang PD, obviously.
I'm kind of glad we
the
didn't
truest
because
member.
like that could have been cheesy, to be honest.
And restrictive.
I'm kind of glad. Yeah, and I'm glad we didn't do it because I've done a collab of the 7 Deadly Sins for a Sasuke series before, and then I've written my own BTS series as well on it, and then doing it for the 3rd time would have been like I wouldn't have known what to write.
Yeah, I've seen like BTS
a lot of
compared to the Sins a lot. So, but anyway, yeah, we all were fans of each other, and then it was just like me and Chim basically who just went out and sent like love calls to a bunch of people.
Yes, we're like, please join us.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you.
Yo, I originally like asked for writers to like hit me up. Like literally no one did, except like 2 people, I think.
Some people did after we had all like 8. I was like, oof.
Yeah, but I'm really glad we did this.
Yeah.
Me too. It's fun. I talk about you guys to like my friends in real life all the time, and they're just like, she's crazy, but that's okay.
Okay, we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I read it?
Sure.
Okay, what are your least favorite aspects of the Yandere? Am I saying that right?
Yandere.
For instance, I dislike more hardcore stuff like physical abuse, etc. I'm curious as to what your guys' limits are. Also, I love you. Thank you for this blog.
I don't like when they're like violent with no reason. They just like
I think, yeah, because I think a lot of people, especially these new writers, I don't want to like say any names or anything, but there has been like an influx of new fics that are just like, oh, like Jimin saw a guy looking at you, and then he like backhands you and tells you to like give him head, and I'm just like, okay, that's the whole. Is that the whole plot? Like that's, I guess, like people forget that it's meant to be about love first. That's works its way into an obsession. So to me, it doesn't make sense for one of the characters to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna like beat the fuck out of you for no reason.
In the first story, I don't know if this is exactly a trope, but I don't like it when the yandere is like violent to the person that they supposedly love, but I'm fine with people to an extent. Like the first story I ever wrote, he refused to like ever touch her or force her to do anything, but he would manipulate the crap out of her, which I think is so fascinating, right? Which is mythomania, like to a T. Like Jimin will not touch a hair on her head, but he will do all kinds of other things to get her to do whatever he wants. But
yeah, your mythofic is like really good, and I like the way, because I've never seen like another writer do it the way that you do, and it's so true that like Jimin is kind of a messed up character, and you are supposed to like know how unstable he is, and it's not supposed to be cute, and you're also supposed to know that he's like so obsessed with you to a point it's almost sad.
And I know, so I got some comments in the beginning where like people were like, "Oh, this happened to me," I would have been like, "Okay." I was like, "Would you really have?" Because sometimes I thought, like, to myself, what would happen if I was sitting here, minding my own business, and I watch a V Live, and Park Jim and the love of my life is like, yo, I'm dating this girl who is me. I'd be like,
That was by
I
far
must
the
have overdosed.
craziest. That was like the craziest intro to anything I've ever read.
Because I would have been like, no.
I liked how you did it in real life too. Like, you didn't like feel the need to like not make him an idol, because it like it really makes things way more intense.
Yeah, I think so, and harder to avoid. Because if it had just been, Park Jim and the university like hot guy, then it would have been a lot easier to be like, no, I'm just going to put a restraining order on this person and never talk to them ever again. But yeah.
Okay. Did Ambi and Paulo answer?
For me, I think I'm trying to think. What's a story I didn't like in Yandere? I think it's really weird when, like, and sometimes I don't know if this is relevant to the question, but sometimes when a Yandere is violent and then for no reason at all, the story suddenly switches to romance, like in the middle of nowhere. Like it's been like violent and then you suddenly have romance. Like there's certain ways to do certain things. Like if that sudden switch happens, like if they have like some sort of mental illness like bipolar, it would make sense, or like there was another factor contributing that developed to that point. But out of nowhere, it doesn't make sense to me when I see that in stories sometimes. Yeah, I don't have much to add to this because for me, I haven't written a fully explicit like rape scene or anything. So probably that's my own limit, I guess. I don't like going too explicitly into details, mostly because I think that's something maybe the readers could interpret on their own and just. Usually I can't be bothered with the details, but probably about. Not too sure how to answer this question.
Yeah. I think that like it depends on the person, definitely, because I'm like a type of person where like all is fair in the name of fiction, I just don't like it's the one thing that I can't stand.
Yeah, the only thing that weirds me out is the incest thing. I was like, oh my god, no.
So like my Jin's meant to be like sadistic, but I never actually make him that because I don't like writing it much and it just feels awkward.
Yeah, I've read Smut twice, but I have no idea if it was actually right at all. So, because it's so awkward, I'm sitting here like, let me write this word. I'm just like, this is super awkward as crap. Me just sitting here writing the smut scene. It's I try not to do it unless it's important to the plot, I think.
Oh my god, smut. Oof. I'm like scared to write my first one.
I don't think
mine was trash, so.
That reminds me of another point. It's like when it's an abusive relationship and like some readers hit you up like, is there gonna be a smut where they like have consent sex, like not even dubcon, but like actual, like something you'd see in romantic fan fictions, and then that really kind of creeps me out. Like it kind of worries me for the person who sent it in. Like they should probably get some help or something. But
because this is not a light the candle situation.
Yeah, because I had a story about like Yandere Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and one reader, like the comment was just left me so baffled because it was just romanticizing all the wrong parts of Yandere and abuse, and I just thought that type of thing. It's ironic coming from a Yandere writer, but that sort of thing in the comments makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think they definitely like, it's weird because you're unknowingly fulfilling like this like person who definitely has issues, like their little fantasy, and it's like, wait, mine is like fiction, like I'm doing this so you to see how messed up it is, and it's actually like fulfilling something like a little fantasy for you, and that's where I get
Mhm.
awkward. I had that similar story with Pen Pal. I think someone wanted Jungkook and like the OC to smash, and I was like, how? Like, she's trapped in a house with a serial killer. Like, where would she find time to get horny? Like, where?
Exactly. I was like, that's terrifying. There's nothing good about this at all.
Yeah, I think you did it really well though, Ellie, in Mytho, because I definitely like I wasn't there was like an emotional like thing going on with that where it was
Mhm.
clearly like not the right thing to do.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I wanted people to get from Mythomania. I was like, she's just trying her hardest because at the end of the day, she's someone who loves him as a fan and doesn't want him to be, this messed up. So she's trying her hardest, but she's not like, oh, it's Park Jim and let me just love and hug on my oppa. No, 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 God, no, no.
Yeah, it depends on like I think it's a spectrum too. Like I think Pandemonium there is gonna be some smut. Like I do definitely see it because it's not like they're not full on crazy yet.
Hmm. Yeah, I love the Pandemonium characters because they're so fun. Like in a lot of Yandere stories, I feel like there's the OC and she's there and she's oblivious to stuff, that's going on. And as the reader, you're just like, why are you still here? But in Pandemonium, I really like all of the characters just as characters. So that's really rare in the Yandere society, not society,
Yeah, I could
like.
not write an OC that I do not like relate to. I just
Hmm.
like I don't understand it at all. So I think Pandemonium reflects me like a lot. Like if people know me and read that, they would like, "Yep, you definitely wrote this, you crackhead." Okay, are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, was that the hardcore stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your favorite genres / other concepts to write about?
Angst.
Yes. So much angst. I love angst when people will like type a comment. They're like, "Thanks, I'm crying now." I'm like, "Yes, I've done my job." I just love writing angst because I don't really usually enjoy those happy like everything's cute and fluffy and this is just a story about, a normal couple who has normal happy couple things. Like a lot of my one shots that you'll see like high is terrible. Is absolutely terrible. I felt like a terrible person writing it. And crap, I don't even remember the name. Cut is also terrible. That's also terrible. So I don't like writing a lot of fluff. So yeah, just angst, I would say for me.
I
I
think
think
just like crack is good.
Mhm.
Yeah, parodies and cracks are really fun to write as well.
I think
Mhm.
that's the only thing I'm good at. Like I think that's why Pandemonium's like semi interesting because like the OC just says like the most weird shit ever.
Mhm. We all
But
love the
Apollo,
Pandemonium OC.
It's like you just wake up in the morning and you know you're gonna write BTS as the type of shits. Hey, you.
oh my god, yes, dude. I make like Jungkook and Pandemonium like so. I like I kind of feel bad for him because I just like I fuck with him so much in that story.
Mhm. That's why I feel bad about Mythomania and Jimin. Like I'll look at a photo, I'm like, I've done you so dirty. I'm so sorry. The guilt is real.
Apollo, did you have anything to say?
not really for that one.
Okay. The next one is what is everyone's favorite BTS song or songs?
Spring Day.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Mm, there's so many. It's hard to choose. I
I think
I
it's
really
just because
think
that's what
Mandarin.
got me into it.
I love Epiphany. So good.
Mhm. Epiphany's the first time I really like absolutely fell in love with Jin's voice. It was when I saw it live, I
Yeah,
almost wanted to cry. It was so gorgeous.
it's so good. Oh my god. Jin is
They
so
usually do
brilliant.
Jin so dirty, and he doesn't get in songs parts that'll really let his voice shine most of the time. But Epiphany was just so gorgeous.
Ooh, I like. I'm a very like loyal stan, I guess.
Hmm.
I so I guess like those are just. When I like listen to it, I'm just like, yes, I remember when I first came in. Like I
Hmm.
don't know. And although I love BTS and stuff, like their new direction and stuff, it definitely is different from the old. And like, if I had a chance to like choose between the old and like the new, I definitely prefer like the old stuff. But like, that's not to say the new isn't good. But
Like something about the HYYH era, it just makes me sad in the most beautiful way because all of the songs are just, it's just so them. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe.
Okay, are we ready for the next one? Okay. So my question is it hard to fall into the mindset of a Yandere character while writing, and how does it affect you, or do you ever have to take breaks while writing for it? Because once I tried to write a fic for my friend, and that fic was from the POV of a character that was mentally unstable and heavily depressed, and while writing it, I was heavily affected due to it. So I'm curious how a mindset like Yandere affects you all.
I think it doesn't affect you very much, like writing depressing stories if you're feeling depressed all the time anyway. So that's one good thing that comes out of it.
I think it depends on like if you're more like how deep you go with it, and like how like if you're an emotional person, then yeah, you definitely could take something away from it, or like you're able to separate your writing from like your real life. Like I think pen pal, I kind of like through a phase where I was like really like I felt writing so hard, and I could definitely sense a change within like my own perspective on certain things. Like paparazzi, really? How come?
Well, I don't. This is gonna make me sound like a psychopath, but I don't usually cry or like I have weird emotion reactions to things. Have you guys seen Baby Driver?
No.
No. Well, anyway, there's this scene where one of the guys who's a bad guy, they're driving and he literally gets like impaled, and everyone in the movie theater was like gasping and shocking, and I burst out laughing because I thought that was funny as crap. So I'm kind of a psychopath, but so I don't usually get like sucked into it too much. The only things that really evoke like intense emotional reactions from me are like Disney movies when people's moms die, because I cannot.
But you can't handle horror story, like horror movies. But you can handle
horror just creeps me out.
But you could handle someone getting impaled.
Yeah, like gore is fine. Like I can watch gore. It's just kind of gross, but not like oh my gosh. But like I don't like clowns or things jumping out.
You're quick.
I can't handle horror, but like with gore, it's not that bad.
It's just kind of gross, but maybe it's because as a kid, I used to get like a ton of nosebleeds all the time, so I'm not someone who's like squeamish about blood whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I just think, like for this, I think that my emotions weren't so much as affected as like my perception of everything. Paparazzi was definitely something that I wrote. You ever just gone back and read something that you wrote and just like wow, it kind of like blew you away a little bit, or like you're like damn, like it's insightful. I think paparazzi was definitely something like it was my little ode to like fan culture.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Sometimes I'll go back and read scenes where, especially scenes when people have said it's really affected them, because it's kind of hard when you're the writer, unless you take a break, then you can go back kind of with fresh eyes and see how, oh yeah, this is kind of emotion evoking.
The only thing that affects me with Yandere writing is like when I reach a certain word count and then my butt gets sore because I can't sit and write anymore. So
yeah, dude, it's so like I love writing so much, but like my back is definitely screwed from how like much I've been hunched over, and like a lot of people know this.
I write in bed.
I don't like write stuff like I don't write like 1K that's enough for today. I'll just do a line of coke and like do 6K in one sitting. Like that's just the type of person I am. So, like that's like a good couple hours of me just like hunched over.
I can't do that because I screwed up my health pretty bad for like hunching over in my early teen years. Like so now I try not to do that. And I think there's some scenes that can be affected in a way. Like sometimes I get amazed by the things I write. Not to sound pretentious or anything, but other than that, I haven't really experienced anything. Oh, wait. One moment that really made me want to take a break was World of Lust. When in the end, Jimin does that, where he's like just, when I heard that scene in the end, where he's like squeezing the baby out of the reader and then he's doing all the threats. Yeah, that made me want to take a break from that writing.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one was that tournament one.
Well, I'm like the only one in the group chat who is like, yeah, I totally would. Everyone else is like, no.
Yeah, I think that was a bad idea for a variety of reasons.
I'm like, I understand why you guys wouldn't want to do it, because like the idea of like making your writing a competition is, I understand it, but I just think it's like fun, and I'm an Aries, and I don't have a problem with stuff like that. I think it'd be cool, especially if like we all had the same prompts, and to see where it goes with like all of us, like how we could like take it and make it into our own stuff. I think that'd be really cool.
I think that would be fine, but the part where it was like, let's make it a competition was the part that rubbed me wrong. I was like,
the competition bit is a bit weird, like especially when they were like, oh, and whoever wins gets a prize. Like, sis, how would we work out a prize? Like,
yeah, I'm like, what is the prize? Am I going to sit? No, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
But I mean, I'm down for it. But other people said that they wouldn't.
I think I want to keep it more as like a group thingy and not like just a competition. So it's all more of a working together against each other.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah, same.
Okay, next question. Shoot, where were we? Okay. What is the first book that made you realize that writing would be something you'd like to try?
Fan fiction wasn't really a book that made me want to write. It was fan fiction. I used to read this fan fiction that's like someone from this world went into the Naruto world, and they were just so funny at that time. Like all the pop culture references that the OC made, and then no one got it. That just made me fall in love, and that's when I started writing my things.
So basically,
for me, for a fan, you can go first.
So basically, I read a lot when I was younger, and then sort of stopped when I got older. And like all the books I was reading were really boring, so I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself."
For me, writing in general, I've always written like since I could write. But if we're talking about like fan fiction, I don't remember anything in particular. But the reason I started writing fan fiction was because a friend I had at the time, her birthday was coming up, and it was like when we were both in love with Black Butler. I was like, "Ooh, I'll write you like a Black Butler fan fiction for your birthday." Yes, it was just as terrible as you think it was. It was absolutely horrific. I wanted to burn.
For me, I relate to Apollo. I've always like read a lot, and I think that I was definitely a loner a lot when I was a kid. I moved around a lot, so it took I didn't like get a lot of friends until like I finally settled down. But books became my friends, and weirdly enough, like it. Have you ever like read a book and then like the ending like pissed you off, or you just hated like how it ended or how it went down?
Yeah.
Yep, Divergent.
I think it was either Hunger Games or Twilight. I'm leaning more towards Hunger Games. Where I read it and I didn't think I liked like that Katniss Pixpedia. I don't think I liked that. I don't know why. Or it's either Twilight. I didn't like that she picked Edward or something. But either way, I decided like fuck it, and I just took like my laptop to like 12-year-old me was like, I'm gonna write my own version where she ends up with who I wanted to. And that's how I was introduced like fan fiction. But I think for books, like sometimes I read books, like I've grown up and I like more old English books. Like I like read a lot of Oscar Wilde and Fitzgerald, and I think like they want writing. Like I don't think you could ever be the same after reading like a Fitzgerald. Like the way he like could set a scene, I don't think writing could ever like be the same after that.
I haven't written a lot of like or read a lot of the classic literature and stuff like that.
I definitely think it's like beautiful. Like, I don't know. I think the Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Like, it's the most beautiful like books I've ever read, I think. And I loved the way he wrote like poetry somehow. It was just so beautiful.
Actually, one book that made me wanna get into, inspired me to start writing for BTS was Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. The character in that, he's not really a yandere. He's just like a mentally fucked up dude who's sadistic. But like the way he manipulates things and like the vibes, that was like really intriguing. And that's what I based Taehyung's character on. That and horror, some slasher films are were a big inspiration, and some short stories like I quite like the Geranium and the Dollhouse and things like that. Those are very it pretty much inspired me to make Taehyung's character the way he was.
Yeah, I think like also Lolita was like a really good a good book to read for like a bad example of love and like how like a relationship could be so fucked up but like it's still just like an obsession basically. Like I think that was a really good book.
Which
psychological Lolita.
Okay.
I like my psychological warfare fic that I'm working on right now. Like it has like it's gonna be heavily inspired by that.
I love Lolita, which is like terrible. But like the movie, I haven't read the book because I haven't found it. But the movie I watched the one that came out not in the 60s. That's a whole different level of disturbing. But the one in the 90s, and some parts of it were just so beautifully shot as well, which is really bizarre. And the way that the movie worked, where it was, I liked the fact that it was, it was definitely a terrible relationship. But the thing that makes, you be really intrigued is the fact that there were little moments where things were almost good, where you could tell the characters were holding on to those moments that were almost good to try to ignore the terrible moments that were going on. Because I feel like that's what happens in real life, is when people are stuck in toxic relationships, they like really think about the times where, oh, what about that time when the thing happened and the day was perfect, and that ignoring the time where everything else was going to crap.
Yeah, I think that the in the movie, but I think the movie did this, and I think that you should definitely try to find the book. But like the book, I think one of my favorite bits about it is that he knew that he was like a pedophile and messed up in the head, but like the obsession and the infatuation like overrides that, which I think a lot of people don't get. That like a lot of the like a Yandere could be like aware of how fucked up they are, but like obsession and addiction like that will overtake everything and ruin everything.
Just like being on drugs.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready for the next one?
I think so.
What are common traps for aspiring writers that you all learn the hard way?
I would say you can go first.
I was just gonna joke and say don't like series after have multiple series like coming out, because you'll dig yourself in the hole of like hundreds of people in your inbox asking on like various different ones.
What was that? Sorry, your voice got cut off for me.
Like don't have multiple series ongoing at once. Like I'd say work on pieces of work one by one. I think
I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, that's like something I having to do. I just get like really hyper and excited about new ideas. So like I'm always just like wanting to like share it right away and get feedback right away. But I kind of like dug myself into a hole because now I have like 5 stories out and I'm trying to do another one. Like I already have like a whole other story that I want to do.
Also, don't whatever if you have a writer you really look up to, like don't say what they think is good writing word to word. I found that like before some writers I really looked up to, like I kind of tended to like write exactly how they publish their guideline to be. And then after like I reached some mental cognitive maturity, you realize that everyone is just human. So if someone recommends something, it's not completely like, it doesn't mean it's right. So try to build your own flow and things like that. Just focus on what you think you'd like to read and what you want to write.
Yeah, take every like piece of advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Yeah, also if you decided to like take requests, this is a mistake I made. I left them open for so long and I have got so many that I haven't even like got round to thinking about yet.
Mm.
Oh my god, same. Okay. Are we good for the next one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Ernest Hemingway once said that the first draft of everything is shit. Would you agree or disagree?
I mean that's up to y'all because I only post first draft. So
Yeah, I
everything
disagree.
I've ever, yeah, all of Mythomania is the first draft. All of everything's the first draft.
I can't bother to
I
edit
think
mine,
like
so I just
for a book, maybe you
Yeah,
need like
like
multiple
it's,
Yeah,
drafts.
for a professional book for sure, yeah.
But like if I'm working on a fic, like you guys are seeing the first draft basically. I like read it through and maybe made some like edits that like just like correcting misspelling and stuff. But like overall, yeah, I'm not like
yeah,
making
because
any
I
Yeah.
don't
major
even
changes.
I
Yeah,
don't even
same.
reread my stories. I just check like spell check.
I
Same.
It's just like
And I let like misspellings get in the way too. Like I don't know how I could read through some of the words and like I read back like early pandemonium chapters. Like you could definitely see that I like did not spell check like I don't know efficiently.
yeah, I have
I
Grammarly, so it's just like this is doesn't make sense. I'm like, thank you, little robot.
Ooh, that flex, that writer flex. I have Grammarly.
Yeah, but it's free though.
That's a flex in our world. This bitch said
yeah.
I have Grammarly. I've seen the
But shoot,
commercials.
yes, it's just like writing made easier. I'm like, yes, please help me because I'm not gonna reread that.
Paula, do you have anything to say?
uh, yeah, I don't like edit mine at all because I don't like reading it. It just makes me think it's all awful, so I don't.
I don't know how people
Like
have
so
like
much.
beta readers for just fan fictions. I'm just like, how? How do you have the time for this?
same. Like all I do with my chapters is write them, proofread them once, and then that's it. Just post it. Because I don't really like to, as Apollo said, go back to it and like read it more than I need to. Because just after writing it, it's cringy, and then you go back to it after a few weeks or months, and then it seems nice.
Because before I started the whole
Yeah.
early access thing, people would read chapters 10 minutes after I finished writing them, and that was just it.
Yeah, that's why like sometimes I publish chapters and then people like just read it in like 15 minutes and then I'm like okay. Or it's worse before like I think it was back in like 2014 or 2015 on Quote.me. A lot of writers got sick because all readers commented were up, can you please update right after you've updated it, and that's just the most frustrating thing.
I've only had that happen a few times, and I'm just like, literally
Yeah, on
12 minutes ago.
Yeah, Tumblr, it's not a big thing, which is good. But before, like a few years ago on Quotely, that was all that you'd ever see on stories, and it just started to piss everyone off.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
some
I
stories
bet.
on there before, and like that was all people commented, and I eventually just gave up, and they're still commenting it now every now and then. I'm just like, ah.
Because I don't think a lot of people understand how not motivating that is. Like, to get me to want to write, I love when people will like reblog a chapter and they have like an in-depth analysis or like, oh, this is how this
Yes,
made me
those are
feel.
my
That is the best
favorite.
thing.
I rip the
Yeah,
fattest ooh when that happens.
Not that I don't appreciate, of course, the, oh, this was really good, keep up the good work. Those are good and motivating. But when it's like a whole like freaking
paragraph.
analysis, I'm just like, yes, I love you. Please marry me. This is great.
Yeah. I think like sometimes I go back and I think it's possible for a writer to get trapped in their own head while you're writing. Like a lot of times I write a lot in one sitting, so like that could be my own fault, but while I'm writing something I'm like, wow, this does not make sense. This is awful. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just smashing the keyboard at this point. And like that's how I felt, but some of like my best works have been like my most liked ones have been those it. Like I actually The Devil Wears Prada, like that was trash. Like I was crying as I was writing that. I was like, this is so bad. I feel
Oh my
so
god,
awful.
that was one of my favorites.
And then it's like
It's
my
literally
most liked
one of my
one.
favorites. Mm-hmm.
I know, which is so weird.
That happened to me with Cut because I wrote it like it was the middle of the night too, and I wrote it on my phone because I couldn't sleep, and then posted it the next morning, and it's like my most liked thing ever, and I'm like, why? It's not. I don't think Cut is good like at all.
Yeah, same with Pen Pal. Like even like the sneak peek thing I did with it, like it was like by far like it was probably like my most like series like by far. And I was always just like I felt like I put a lot more work into Paparazzi, and I feel like that to me is more well written and I like it more. But like I don't know why that one popped off so hard. But like hey, it's whatever.
That's the tea. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you go about your writing process as a large group? I guess they think we write together, but we don't.
Oh, imagine that. Like we open a doc
Oh my
and like we all
God.
just like write one word.
That would be terrible.
For a serious answer, we like once you send a request to us, we could claim it. So by claiming it, we basically just say like, oh, this is Chinkbihh, or like this is mine. Well, we mostly just put our own little emoji under it, and then we save it to drafts, and then that's how we know that like this request is that author's, and it's first come first serve, and that's how that works. And then we all just like publish that for that request whenever we can.
Yeah, that's how. It's not very complicated because I think that's the best way for it to work out realistically.
Yeah, I like it. I think we have an efficient process, and like basically we do have rules where like I think Shay was the one who like posted the rules, right? But romanticizing abuse and like incest, like we do all have like a defined line not to cross. But like if we do have a request or an ask that we don't know like whether or not that's crossing, we will like address each other in the group chat. Like I think I got a stepbrother one, and I'm really excited to write, but like I didn't know how that would go with any of you, so like I asked first.
But yeah, it's mostly just trying to be aware that this is a group project, you know.
Apart from the authors on the blog, what are other Yandere BTS authors do y'all enjoy?
Questions like these are so hard for me to remember because I don't remember people's username.
Yeah,
like I have so many I could share, but I don't.
There is one. Okay, this is the one author that like put me on, and like I loved her so much, and I actually talked to her personally when I was working on my The Devil Wears Gucci thing, and I was like so happy. But Mint Yoongi, but like Yoongi has like an X. She has like, first of all, she had EXO, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually like an XOL before like ARMY. And she did like a series for that, and I thought it was so beautiful and well written. And then she's doing a BTS one right now. But I like hit her up while I was doing The Devil Wears Prada, and I was like, hey, she has a very similar story, the Baekhyun one. I don't know if you guys read it, but I was like, hey, I like how you did like, because Baekhyun slept with like a prostitute in that, and like, and while he was like smashing this prostitute, he like screamed the OC's name, I think, which I thought was a cool way to like show how obsessed he was in like a short fic. So I wanted to do something like that, but then it turned into like this weird sadism bullshit. But I don't know, it's whatever. But she hit me up after that, and she said she really liked it and that she loved what we're doing on the blog. But like she was one of the people who was tagged to like join, but she never joined or talked to us. So I was kind of sad about that.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I think Chikinika on Tumblr, she has really good stories. Some of the Yandere.
I have her
BB
notes on.
BBkins. I'm
Oh yeah,
Bibli.
that's another one.
Oh my god, yes. Legendary. She's legendary. We're mutuals now, and I like screamed when I saw like the notification. I was like, yes.
And for me on Kirby, there was this one Yungi story I read on Kirby that was really good. I'm not sure what the username was. I think it was called Chaos or something. Wait, let me have a look.
Oh, I think I read
That one was really good, and she has a lot of other stories as well for Yandere BTS. It should be in my library. There we go. Yeah, it's called Chaos, and it's by Miss August D. Yeah,
I read that.
she has really good stories. I like quite a lot of her stories, but yeah, they're really good. There was another one on quote we were mutuals, but she deleted all of her works sadly. So yeah, that's
Question. Is it pronounced quote V? Because I've been saying quotev this entire time.
I think it's quote tab or quote we. It's like people do either.
I do not even
That's
mention
true.
that site or Wattpad anymore. Like someone asked me if I would like if I would put my stories onto those sites, and hell no. Like I cannot. There's good stories on both like platforms, but like it's just so like there's just so much trash on there.
I've tried putting works on quotev before, but it never worked. So I do have them like up on Wattpad because it's easier for me to like keep track of them like statistically.
Yeah, I don't think I've like on. I don't think I liked the way that either Kotev and Wattpad. Like I didn't like the way that Wattpad was easier, but like if I tried to upload a story on Kotev, I think it was difficult for some reason. I didn't like it.
And Wattpad is super glitchy. Still, it's always super glitchy.
Dude, Asian fanfics though, that's low key like the undercover hoe. Like she kind of has some good works, but like no one really talks about it that much.
Who is this? Who is this?
What?
Who are you guys talking about? Sorry, I zoned out.
Oh, we were just talking about like the different platforms.
Oh, right.
Okay. Did we all answer?
Paul?
The problem is I've got so many floating around in my head, but I can never remember the names or anything. I've got a bad memory.
I memorize the profile pictures more than I memorize the username.
Me too. That's
Which
easier.
is why whenever someone like switches up their profile and stuff, I'm like what? Like it weirds me out for a bit.
Something that irritates the crap out of me that no one else seems to do except on Tumblr is when people will just change like their whole username so often, and it's so infuriating. Because I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Low key, it's a lifesaver because my first one was cringy, and I was not here for it. I mean, mine is controversial, but I'd rather be controversial than cringy.
True. I've never changed mine. It's always been the same.
Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. So I want to know, where do you guys get your inspiration to write your stories? Have you had the desire to write a Yandere novel or something like that? When and how do you know you were into the Yandere world? Love you and your work. Stay healthy. Well, we kind of answered the inspiration one before.
I have written Yandere novels before, like whole ones. They're just sitting on my computer waiting for me to do things with them.
Novel. I guess I'm gonna consider my psychological warfare one to be a novel in a way. My goal is to like make it really long and lengthy, and I'm gonna like bulk post it all at once. At least that's my goal if I have self-restraint. But yeah, it's definitely like I'm trying to like make it a mini book basically.
Because to be a novel, all you have to do is hit 40,000 words. So a lot of fan fictions actually breach that.
like the same as like in any other type of genre or trope. You just find yourself looking it up more.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything
Next
else
one.
to add? Yeah.
Which are your nationalities?
Mine is obvious.
Yes, I'm American. Hello. Good job. There we go. That's lame. Everyone else is like, "Ooh, I'm from this place," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm from the hamburger country."
You're from Georgia?
Yeah. Well, not
Uh,
technically. I wasn't
yeah.
born here.
Where were you born?
Alabama.
Sweet home?
Mhm. The butt of every joke ever.
I was born in Chicago and stuff, but like I moved around a lot, but we're back here, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I moved to Georgia when I was 10. So it's been a hot minute.
My story's so boring. It's just like born in England, stayed in England.
Yeah, but it's accepted that people born in England have the best accents ever. So you've already won.
Are we answering the nationality question?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was born in India, but I live in New Zealand. There's nothing else to it.
I still think it's hilarious how well, not hilarious, well, really fascinating how all over the world we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all brought together by BTS.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Okay, are we ready for the next one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever run into any real life yanderes? Don't share if it makes you uncomfortable, but I was suddenly just curious. And then, are any of you one?
No, I'd have to say. But also, I'm apparently oblivious to everything around me, so who knows?
Who knows? I think in my freshman year there was this guy. He was actually kind of like Mytho Jimin. Like he
Mhm.
was the type that was like very like, oh, I'll kill myself. Like if you don't do this, if you don't. Like he
Mhm.
was very like emotionally manipulative and like very, oh poor me. Like this is all your fault. But that didn't really
Mhm.
work on me. Unfortunately, it worked for other girls, and he like
Mhm.
ended up with some other girls who I tried to warn, but some of them were just stupid. But yeah.
I haven't run into any real life in there. I don't think. This one guy from intermediate followed me home, but I used to live really close to the school, like just like maybe the opposite end. But he was being really creepy at school as well. So I kind of threw my shoe at him, and then he didn't follow me again.
Yeah, I've never run into anything like that.
Oi! Stop it!
Paula?
Not really. My best friend's boyfriend's a bit like fucked in the head, kindest way. But like he's not that bad. And he told him to stop it, and he did. So
Well, that's good at least.
I wish you talk more. You have such a nice voice. Okay. The next one is any weird facts from each of you.
I can make myself burp anytime I want to.
Do it.
Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah.
Are you like that full of gas that like you just do it on command?
No, it's like a trick you have to do with your throat. Like if you pull a certain muscle, then you can do it. It's not gas, not that gassy. Yeah. It's just something in my throat. Like I make a certain movement and then I can make myself burp.
I have a love-hate relationship with cheese. Like I won't put cheese on things, but I will eat it in things.
I hate melted
which is
cheese.
really bizarre. Yeah, like I won't put cheese on burgers or fries, but I love like cheese and pasta and pizza and like cream cheese. It's really weird. It's a case by case basis of whether or not I would eat this certain type of cheese. Also, I'm lactose intolerant, so there's that.
Apollo?
Not really, no.
I'm like trying to think. That's a weird thing, like to just come up with random facts about you on the spot. Well, like not come up, but like things that can be considered weird. I went through like a phase where like I thought I was weirdly psychic. Like I still kind of think like I might be a sensitive or something.
Do any of you put milk before the cereal?
No, that's just
Okay.
psychotic behavior.
Exactly. I don't understand people who do it. I'm worried for Cookie. Like that's not a normal thing. It's
I don't know. I think there's weirder things out there though. Like I think like I for one enjoy pineapple on my pizza. Like I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. And like people who like, ew, you like that? I'm like, there's people who put like sugar in their spaghetti. Like, why aren't we coming for those people? I don't understand.
I put mushrooms on pizza and on burgers. So there's that.
Mushrooms in
Mushroom and
general
pineapple.
are gross.
I love mushrooms. I'll eat mushrooms like
What's the
anything.
explain the taste of a mushroom? Like explain it.
It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of like now that you say it, it's really hard because mushrooms don't taste like.
Because there is none. There's nothing. So you're just left with this weird texture, and it's like, what the hell?
So it has kind of a weird-ish after-ish taste, maybe. I don't know.
After,
I like mushrooms.
you do not want an aftertaste with anything.
I like mushrooms though. They're good. I don't know. It's something. I don't know. It's good. I just like them. It's bizarre. Also, I hate. I will not put like ketchup or mustard on anything. I can't be around people who like put a lot of ketchup and mustard on things. It grosses me out. Or
Ketchup?
sauerkraut. Like if you're one of those sauce
Ew.
people. Mm-mm.
Ketchup I get, but mustard, like I get a lot of ketchup on stuff, but like I don't get people who would just like have a lot of mustard on stuff.
No, my dad will put his like hot dog relish and sauerkraut and then mustard, and I cannot be anywhere near him.
My dad will put like hot sauce on everything. Horrible.
Oh, really?
I think that's like a minority thing though, to be honest, because same gang. Like, I think, I don't know, like my mom explained it that sometimes she literally cannot taste stuff if it like doesn't have a certain level of spiciness, because that's like how adapted her taste buds are to it.
Mm-hmm. I put steak sauce on lots of stuff though, like A1.
Yo, okay. Unpopular opinion. If you dip your French fries in ranch, you could exit stage left. Like that's disgusting to me.
Oh,
Like,
I dip French fries in ice cream.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
There's that.
Like, I get that. I think that's something that like a lot of people do, at least in America, which is like must seem gross to other people.
What is ranch?
It's
Isn't that like
salad dressing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but people use it a lot. I dip my pizza in ranch, which is like gross, but I think it's a Midwestern thing.
Yeah.
I love hummus. Hummus and aioli sauces are so nice. Like on bread. If you're having bread and eggs and you put a little bit of like hummus on the bread instead of butter for like toast, it's so good.
I cannot stand hummus.
It
has like
hummus.
such a weird texture to me, and I'm just like, no.
I think my recent like food obsession has been like Indian food. Like I literally just like I've just eat like naan on itself sometimes, and I spent like a lot of my money on curry. It's kind of upsetting.
Oh, I love Indian food. I have it all the time because I'm Indian.
But it really is
know.
like the best like I think out of all like the different cultures foods, like I think Indian's my favorite.
Maybe I'll make something for you and then mail it to you in America.
will it be good by then?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
favorite
okay,
type
it
of food
depends.
is Cajun food.
Asian?
No,
I think
Cajun.
like Cajun.
Yeah, like Louisiana stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with seafood. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
If it swims, I'll eat it pretty much.
I don't know.
Like even as a child.
Dude, I had a hard time when I went to London, and like I had a hard time with the food.
I went to Europe and like when I was 10, and then things I don't. Apollo, please explain this to me. Why don't you put ice in soda? It's
Oh my god, yeah.
cannot.
First of all, pop. Why don't you put your ice in your pop? I don't understand that. It's not soda.
Oh no, no one calls it pop ever. That's not a thing.
Yes,
You
it
really call it
is.
pop?
You're literally just you're just Southern, so you say that and you think that like that's the right way to say that. But
Never
like everyone,
met someone who calls it pop.
you know what? Come to Chicago, you would be the outsider. Everyone would look at you and be like, "Who is this hillbilly? Who is this? Like we do not know."
That's true. I've never seen a single person. Like, oh, do you want some pop?
I
You
lived
get
in Texas
it.
for a bit, and I would say like, "Hi, what kind of like pops do you have?" And like they would look at me weird, and I was just like, "Well, like it's almost the audacity of you hoes to not even address that other people call it pop."
What do you guys mean by pops?
Like
It's
Coca-Cola.
Sprite, like Fanta, carbonated
We call them
fizzy
fizzies
drinks.
here.
Yeah, fizzy drinks.
That's cute.
Yeah.
But like that happened to me too when I moved to Georgia because in Alabama we call shopping carts buggies, and I would go and like ask someone to get me a buggy, or when I was out with friends, and they would just look at me like I was insane.
Yeah. Or like, what do you guys say for like? Do you guys say tennis shoes, gym shoes, sneakers? I know, like, what do you guys say? Trainers, yeah, that's obvious. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's just sneakers.
Sneakers?
Yeah, sneakers or like sports shoes.
I don't get people who say tennis shoes. That's like ultra specific for no reason.
Well, so
For
is
what?
trainers.
Trainers, like, isn't that like you could be training? So that like kind of is relevant. And then gym shoes is like gym related activities. And then sneakers is just a type of shoe. Like, I have no idea where tennis shoes came from.
That's true, because usually when you say tennis shoes, you're referring to anything that is some sort of laced rubber bottom thing.
Oh, yeah. Apollo, bro, we need you to explain some stuff. What's up with beans on toast?
Did you know, this is some stupid random fact, I'm not actually sure if it's true, but apparently cheese on toast is the Welsh national dish.
What?
Yeah.
Beans and toast are nice.
I would starve in London, I think. I would just starve in Europe.
I low-key did, except the good thing is London has like a lot of Indian food, so I was always just like everyone would go get like fish and chips or something, and I'd like go get some curry, and that's how I survived. But
London, I want to go, but
yeah, I don't get like not putting ice. Ambi, do you put ice in your like drinks?
We usually don't have ice here either.
Why wouldn't you want your drink to be as cold as possible while you're consuming it? Why wouldn't you want that? Isn't it more refreshing that way?
Maybe it's not that hot here, so we don't need it to be that cold.
I mean, it's not that like it's not hot here either. I live in the Windy City, so it's not. But
in the winter you'll put ice in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I still do that.
If you don't.
I would never drink like a lukewarm, like room temperature Coke. Like what?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be lukewarm though. It's still cold, just not as cold as with ice in it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so we got like way off track.
Yeah.
This started off like weird facts. Okay, next question. How do you get inspired to write? Well, we kind of answered this already. Everyone does it differently. Kind of finds you instead of you finding it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like
to do in your spare time?
Right?
Yeah, I either write or I'm reading other people's works. And then it's like school at the moment. And then like everything other than that is like basic needs stuff where like I have to do like stuff to just stay alive, like eat.
I like to take obscenely long baths. So I've watched movies while taking a bath.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Baths
That's
are
my
weird to me.
A lot of people don't like baths. A lot of people are weirded out by them.
Because it's not hygienic.
You're just like, I'm sitting. But see, when you take a long bath, I empty out the water and refill it again.
You're still
But
like
if you
you're
shower
still
and
not
then
filtering
bath,
it out.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't. Showers are, showers is just like my whole purpose here is to get clean. But bath is like, I'm just here to relax.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
why
like
if you like shower and then bath, it's not that
I like
unhygienic.
getting soggy, like like your fingers and stuff.
Yeah, I get all wrinkly.
Yeah, but that's like really warm in it. It's nice.
Is that like I really like watching like movie critics and stuff, or like film like analysis videos. Like I like film a lot, and so I like certain YouTubers who will like definitely go and like I don't know, review movies and stuff. I really like.
That's my dad. My dad loves to do that, but I can't because like I'm like, this is a movie. I just want to watch it and enjoy it. But I know a lot of people get a lot out of, oh my God, I just broke the lead of, critics and stuff like that, which I can understand why, because a lot of times they point out things that, you don't notice.
Yeah, I think like Ralph the movie maker, anyone watching who like would like to like find new critics and stuff, I think he's really funny and he also like makes really good points that I never noticed before. Like now because of him, he kind of like ruined a lot of movies for me, but I feel like a more smarter like moviegoer now because like I'm just picking up things that a lot of normal people don't.
Oh, I forgot to put the chicken in the fridge.
I'm just being incredibly rude.
I like to I like to do skipping. Skipping is fun. Or cycling, listen to music.
I sleep a lot. I'll try to take a 30-minute nap and wake up 4 hours later.
Same.
Yo, how do you guys feel about ASMR?
I used to hate it, but now I don't know. Sometimes I'll listen to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Low
Not
key.
very often.
It's for me. It's weird.
It's what?
For me, it's weird.
Weird.
I don't really listen to it.
A lot of it does weird me out.
I think like I can only listen to it when I'm like tired and like about to go to bed. It kind of like
Me
helps
too.
because some voices are just like really. I really like this is so nerdy and like I hate this, but Captain Levi from like Attack on Titan, he has like such a nice deep voice that I love like ASMR videos about him.
Dub or sub?
Levi?
Yeah.
Is that a question?
No, I mean the dubbed version or the subbed version.
I thought you said
In
dom
English
or
or
sub. I'm like,
no.
what are you saying? Like, sis. I mean, I guess the argument could be made for like, never mind. Both. But also Jimin has a really nice voice, which he's not even like my bias or anything. But his voice is like really cool to me because it's like raspy and kind of high pitched, but like also kind of gruttle.
But I have listened to those
Just pleasing.
Jimin talking for like 28 minutes straight.
Yeah, his voice is pleasing, but yeah.
I love do you guys know Hunter x Hunter? Crollo's voice actor in Japanese. Like it's a like he's a piece of trash and like a piece of trash I love. But his voice, like voice actor's voice is really nice. And of course Oikawa as well. Oikawa's hers. His voice actor has a pretty nice voice.
I wish I had a nice voice.
You do.
I don't know, but like enough to like get paid to like do like voice acting jobs and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Before
Maybe.
controversy with Vic Mignogna, or however you say his last name. He used to be one of my favorite voice actors, like, period.
For who? Sorry?
Vic Mignogna, he did the, like, Full Metal Alchemist dub. He was Edward. He's also done, he was Tamaki in Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh, yeah, he's really good. He's pretty good.
Wait,
Apparently he got
controversy?
fired. Yeah, he got fired for saying, I don't know, it was something that was like anti-something. Sort of, I
I
was
think-
like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
looking
it
this
was-
up.
It was something. I don't remember. But I met him when I was 15, and I took a photo with him. And I also met Todd, what's his face, the guy who played Death the Kid. So that was good.
Oh, I love Death the Kid. He's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
That episode where like they're doing the test and he just spends like the entire time trying to get like the letter, like his name all symmetrical and stuff like that. I was just laughing so
Oh my god, it's sexualizations. Apparently he kissed, groped, and made unwanted comments to fans without their consent, some of whom were underage.
Oh, great. He did kind of give me that vibe. He was like real close when we took a photo, like real close. But apparently, yeah, sexual harassment and homophobia, so they like him out.
Homophobia? You know, host club is like full of like gay baiting.
Yes. The whole thing. To the end. Okay, what's the next one? Is it the stress one?
No, have any of you met in real life before?
Oh, unfortunately not.
No, although one of the admins is about to come to my city.
Yes. I almost came, but alas.
Yeah, if you guys could come to Chicago, that would be great.
Yes. No one comes down south. So it does not have a good reputation down here, most of it.
Evie.
Chicago?
No, the south.
The South doesn't have
Yeah,
a good
people
reputation.
don't want to come to the south. It's gonna be super racist. I'm like, kind of, a little bit, somewhat, yeah.
As a minority, yeah. I like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be on my top 10 list to live at.
Yeah, it's as long as you're
But,
in the
like-
bigger cities, you'll be fine. But like, when you're in the super country, probably not.
Yeah, I've been in Austin before. It was decent, but like, what was I gonna say? My main concern is just weather. Like, I really don't like hot and like humid,
Oh, it's hot as fall.
dry temperature. Like, I don't. I prefer colder. Like, I really want to move north and like get to where it's gonna be like nice and cold.
What question are we on?
We answered the have you ever met IRL before, so it's what's each of your ideal types?
Okay.
I don't really have one.
If I can say is I prefer dark hair, but like
Same.
What?
Apollo prefers dark hair.
Oh yeah, yeah. Usually more
Prefers
dark haired blondes.
Dark hair.
I think like ideally, if we're talking like in K-pop world or just like us in person, like what do we like
just in
more?
person.
I just want someone who could like balance me out and is very practical because I'm like very moody and very like I don't know, I'm very messy. So someone who could like definitely make me like focus and just like be. I'm very up in the clouds and like I want someone who could ground me and is stable. But like physically wise and stuff, I don't like have expectations or anything.
Yeah, me either. As long as I'm attracted to him, which that can mean all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah. Although like if we're talking K-pop world, I've noticed that like I tend to choose biases that are like they look really handsome and like cool and chic, but like they're actually like secretly really dorky and like sweet. Like
Mhm.
Sihoon and Big Bane's top. Although like I guess we don't talk about him, but like I still that host still be slappy and like I still love him.
Yeah, I don't for biases, which is ironic considering Jimin is tiny. Tiny man. He's a tiny man. But usually besides Jimin, I choose the tall one. I like tall guys. Because I don't know, most of my family members are very tall. Like my dad's over 6 foot. So, but yeah, Jimin's tiny. It's fine.
Yeah, like for me, I think the thing like a lot of girls like, yeah, if you're not even like 7 foot tall, don't even talk to me. Like I've always like laughed because I'm like
Mhm.
I've
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Wouldn't make sense for me to end up with a huge ape. Like that wouldn't make sense. He'd look like
You're very
I'd
funny.
look like a kid next to him,
Mhm.
and that weirds me out.
My
Also, like,
parents are a foot apart. They're literally a foot different.
Doesn't she have to like crane her neck to look at him?
Yes.
That would piss me off.
Yeah.
Like, how could
my
I
mom
feel
was
like
funny.
I'm the alpha if I'm having to like constantly look like crane my neck to look at you?
Mhm. Like I can put my head on top of my mother's head because she's so little.
That's cute.
Yes, it is. I love her. She's so squishy. Don't tell her I said that.
Yo, do you want to hear something crazy? Now that you
Sure.
said mom, tell me why someone like I don't know if you've seen this, but someone told me that like their mom read my pen pal like fic and loved
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, why the hell is your mom reading my fan fiction? But I was also really touched.
Well, you know my mom reads all mine. She's been angrily emailing me demanding for the next Mythomania update. So, yes.
Really? Even like with the smut and stuff?
No, she didn't know about that part. I cut that part out. Before I sent it to- No, she didn't read that part. We don't talk about that part.
Yeah,
I thought about.
I was just gonna say that I showed my mom some of my fictions. She's currently up to chapter 5 for Out of the South. She hasn't read further than that, so I felt a bit iffy showing her that story out of everything. She really laughed in The Little Mermaid, which made me insecure about that story. So that was great.
Dude, that was like an amazing story actually.
Yes, I loved it, and I never saw the ending coming, and it was perfect. I loved the ending so much.
It kind of pissed me off, but like I also was just like, damn, I got played. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Definitely
need
thought something
to like
else was
really
gonna
make
happen.
me feel something that's a show that's a good story because like that mean like I felt impacted. But I have thought about like doing something with my mom and showing her it, but I don't want her to know BTS fanfiction. Like I would like switch out names or something because I don't want her to like have that perception of me. But
you know, my mom's a fan anyway, so I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Okay, should we go on to the next one?
I think so.
What were your first impressions of each other? Not writing, but personality-wise. Be super honest. Ooh, but I can't wait.
I don't know. I was like super scared in the beginning to like talk to each of you because like, oh my gosh, they're such good writers. What am I doing here? But at least that's because I don't know. It's kind of hard on Tumblr, especially to see like another writer as a person until you like talk to them. So it's hard. So I wouldn't say our first impressions were very honest because I was just like, oh my gosh, this person is a great writer, and that's all I thought.
Yeah. I tried like
I don't know. That's not what this question is asking.
not do that. I could not freak out because it like would make a weird vibe.
Mhm.
Can I be like super super frank honest? It's like it's no one in this group, so like I don't feel bad, but like Noms and Shay at first, like when uh Ambi and Sweet Bunny, they came in like at the same time.
Mhm.
And like they just went on like they just like spammed the group chat so much with like fangirling, and I was just like I didn't like have a negative reaction to it, but I was like, damn, okay, this is what I'm gonna have to deal with. I was like, because they're really fangirly, which like I can't relate to at all. Like, can I be honest with you guys? When you guys like spam a lot of pictures and stuff, I mute the chat because I'm not like that type of fan where I like fan a lot. And to be honest, after writing paparazzi, like type of stuff kind of weirds me out. But like I was just nervous. I was like, I might have to deal with those type of people. But they're actually the sweetest people. So.
Mhm. I don't know. I don't talk to Sweet Bunny a lot because we have such different like time zones. Because it's mostly just me, you, Shay, and Noms that I get to talk to a lot. So it's
Yeah,
kind
like
of
the
hard.
American crew.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that like there have been, I don't know. I think it's like a lot of you guys are really slow. Like that's something that I differ from you guys because like really, really.
You cut out. I had no idea what you just said.
Yeah, I had no idea what she said.
I think that you guys are all like really nice, and that was like another thing that was like weird for me because I'm like not. Like I'm not like rude, but like I'm not just like I'm not like really soft, I guess. So that was like a bit for me.
I don't think I'm a
Get used
super
to it, I
nice
guess.
person either.
I don't know. I think that like whenever I post like a story, you always like tell me what you think about it.
Well, yeah. But I've been told several times
But,
that I'm
like,
rather intolerant of people. That people in general get on my nerves very often. So, but you can probably see that. Like, I don't like dealing with, if someone annoys me, I usually just cut them off and move on, which is not necessarily a good way to be.
low-key, Apollo, I like at first I was like I wasn't sure if we like added her for sure because she just didn't talk, like she was never there, and I was like I remember being like, is she like here? Like I would like send ask like is she like here? Like are you guys sure you added her? Because she's like a phantom, she's a ghost in the night, sis. Like she's not there, but she is. Oh my god. Now that hoe's silent. Like what?
I kind of love it though.
Do the same with like the group chat from my friends like here too. They're just like, where are you?
She's just like silently like watching like I can picture like watching all of us like from the screen like group chat and stuff, and she's just like taking notes, and she's like gonna ruin our careers later. And she's just like not saying anything. Oh my god, are we already at our last one?
Yes.
Wow.
There was a lot more questions than I was expecting, to be honest.
There's one more question. I think what was the first Yandere story you read?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
I think mine was like some quiz thing on Quotev, but I can't remember.
Mine was a Mint Yoongi one, but I don't remember which one. I think it could have been the Kai one, but that was like I think she definitely put me on to this whole genre.
It was definitely some anime weeaboo crap.
Yeah, same. I think for me, one of my friends from before, she read a lot of Yandere Naruto fan fictions, so I read her work a lot. It was, yeah, she read like for Itachi and Sasuke and all that. Like I'm a big Naruto weeb, so yeah, probably that's where it started from, and then it moved on to just reading Yandere stories in general. I came on Tumblr quite late, not that early.
Yeah, I've only been writing for almost a year. On here, not a whole year yet. In the summer sometime, I think it'll be a year.
Yo, I've had it for a longer time, but like my first story where I actually started posting and stuff, like I don't think it'd be around like December, January, like around that time in 2018. Like
Mm-hmm.
and that's when like it came. But yeah.
Yeah. And I think I was there like in the beginning.
Yeah, you
I was there.
were. And I was like,
Yes.
damn.
Also, something
It's
that
so
weirds
weird how
me out
hmm.
is like when I will go and find a story I really, really like, and it's written by someone who has a new account where it's really small, and they'll be like really freaked out that I'm reading it. And I'm like, what do you think that I am? You know?
Yeah,
But I
I
guess
think
because
it's
a lot of people see.
because like our genre is really like small and like so we're all kind of interconnected. Like I low key I whenever someone recommends me a new Yandere like fic, I check it out. I'm like I already read it. Like I already know like all the main authors and all like the main stories. Like if it's a new one, like it must have been like it must have come out today, sis, because I read it. Like trust me.
Like I check the tags out every day.
What'd you say, Paula?
The like Yandere BTS.
Can you hold on to him? I'm just gonna go.
I'm so amused by this.
You check the Yandere tag every day?
Pretty much. I get
Same.
Yeah, me too.
And there's almost
Every
like
day
no,
before
there's
bedtime.
like never any new stuff. Like it's so, oof, it's so dead, bro. I wish we had more writers and stuff.
That's true.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go now because my mom's here. So
Okay.
she'd wanna
Oh,
talk
that
to
was
me.
perfect.
We're
So
definitely
Timing.
ending.
yeah. So we did better than the other group a little bit, about 45 minutes.
But alright.
So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost midnight. I need to check out too.
Yeah, okay. See you guys and have a good day or night wherever you are.
You too. And also, I'm heading out. Good night, everyone. Or good day,
What
whatever.
did, what did we say to like the listeners?
Hmm?
Like the listeners of this. Like, what did we
Oh,
say?
Lord, I don't know. When I did my podcast, I was just like, all right, goodbye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for supporting us and our blog, and hopefully we could do something like this again for the next 1,000.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.